Raising Victor Vargas, a film critique by Abraham Gonzalez. Raising Victor Vargas, directed by Peter Sollett, was released in 2002 at the Cannes Film Festival. Set during a warm summer in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, the film centers on a teenage boy being raised by his Dominican Republican grandmother, along with his younger brother and sister. His younger sister Vicky, a stubborn, loud, and defensive sister who is constantly arguing with Victor. Nino is Victor's younger brother who idolizes his big brother and copies everything that Victor does. In an interview with filmfestivals.com, director Sollett stated that the title refers to the growth of the main kid in the film, Victor. It means both the physical growth of that kid and figuratively his coming of age. So it's about his growing up. In this film, Victor Vargas depicts the themes of family disputes, immigrant experience, machismo, and the importance of representation. Theme 1. Family disputes and the immigrant experience. Victor is constantly at odds with his grandmother over his behavior. This is an accurate depiction of the tensions in immigrant families. Victor's grandmother, played by actress Altagracia Guzman, is an immigrant from the Dominican Republic. She is stern, conservative, religious, and does her best to raise her 3 grandchildren in their tiny apartment. Because she is an immigrant, she has a different perspective about how children and teenagers should behave. The battle between the two is a common theme in immigrant families because the guardian brings with them the values of their country of origin, whereas the child adopts a set of values from the new country. I personally experienced this growing up as I constantly argued with my father. I felt that I understood what Victor was going through and could see a little bit of myself in him. Also, Victor's grandmother has a misunderstanding about the laws in the United States. At one point, she gets so fed up with Victor that she tries to take him to a social worker to try to get him to behave. She even tells the social worker that she is going to kick Victor out of the home for disobeying her, but is informed that she will be arrested because Victor is a minor. The grandmother is symbolic of immigrant women, especially Latina immigrant women, who are usually extremely hardworking, family-oriented, but strict. This is due to the fact that many of them come from poverty and had rough lives in their home countries, leading them to seek new lives in the United States. However, they are often unfamiliar with laws and traditions of their new country, causing a disconnect between them and their grandchildren. 2. Machismo within the Latinx community. Another important theme throughout the film is the clearly defined gender roles and how prominent they are in Latinx communities. Victor represents a stereotypical masculine, womanizing teenager whose primary concern throughout the film is attracting the opposite sex, though struggles to find success. His little brother Nino looks up to Victor and asks his older brother to teach him how to get girls. Victor responds that Nino needs to be a papi chulo and not a papi feo. It is a well-known stereotype within the Latinx community for men to be conquerors. They are expected to get with many women, and this pressure is shown in the way that Victor acts. His main concern is getting with women, and the other men in the film exhibit this tendency as well. Machismo is a large part of the Latinx culture, and it can lead to toxic masculinity portrayed in the way that men talk and act towards women. Victor's best friend Harold portrays the same attitudes towards women. Harold is goofy, supportive, and shares many similarities with Victor in their feelings towards women. The way that Victor and Harold talk about women is misogynistic. They constantly refer to women as bitches and see them as objects of desire instead of human beings. The extra characters in the film are also extremely sexual in their advances towards Judy, and constantly harass her while she walks in public. This depicts the negative aspect of this stereotype, the objectification of women. Not only do the men in the film say crude things to Judy, but Judy, unfortunately, has to deal with men constantly sexualizing her and saying profane things to her. Their advances are grotesque and unwarranted, yet this is a sad reality for many women. As a result, Judy is much more mature, prudent, and cautious than Victor. Theme 3. The importance of representation. Raising Victor Vargas is an important film for the Latinx community because it depicts a portion of that community that does not get much representation in film and media. The Dominican community is a small yet important part of the immigrant community within the U.S. and especially in New York. Representation is important because it is inclusive and gives a voice to those that go unheard. The film touched on important themes not only within the Dominican community but within the Latinx community in general. Themes such as family, the immigrant experience, gender roles, and machismo culture are important to talk about. It is especially important to talk about the negative aspects of culture, such as machismo and the sexual objectification of women. Talking about these issues raises awareness and can lead to progress in gender roles and their definitions. Additionally, I believe it gave an authentic representation of what it means to be Dominican American due to the music, props, dialogue, and actors used in the film. This is the first film I have seen that had nearly an all Dominican cast. It was hugely popular within the Dominican community in New York and received lots of praise. I hope more films are released in the future that represent more of the Latinx community.
How nice. I love it. Sounds beautiful. Do you like it? You do? How about you?